all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning and happy Monday to you. This is the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 21st of September. Here's everything that you need to know. First up, India is unfortunately continuing to add fresh COVID-19 cases at close to a record pace, raising concerns that it will soon overtake the US to become the worst hit. The country added 92,605 fresh cases in the 24 hours to 8 a.m. yesterday, according to the latest Health Ministry update. Of this, nearly 43 lakh people have recovered from the virus and more than 86,000 have died. Now, there's a significant development in the matter of compensation for revenue lost by states on account of the shift to GST. As many as 21 states and union territories have told the central government that they prefer to borrow 97,000 crore rupees this year from the special window of the central bank to cover the shortfall in payment of goods and services tax compensation cess, according to a central government official. The other option available to them, of course, was to borrow the entire 2.35 lakh crore rupees of shortfall from the market, and they would then have to service the debt payments themselves. The government official said that 20 is the minimum number of votes required to reach a conclusion in the GST Council, so this will probably decide the matter. Now, in the Lok Sabha on Saturday, a bill was passed to amend the Companies Act. Various compoundable offences were decriminalised and provisions were put in place to promote ease of doing business, according to Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. You can have a look at those changes in the story on the website bloombergquint.com. Meanwhile, in the Rajya Sabha, amid pandemonium and chaos, two contentious agriculture-related bills were passed. One of the two bills seeks to provide freedom to farmers to sell their produce anywhere in the country, while the other provides for a national framework on farming agreements that will allow farmers to engage with agribusiness firms, processors, wholesalers, exporters, or large retailers for farm services. Now, opposition parties had criticized the bills, calling them anti-farmer, and demanded that the bills be sent to a select committee for further discussion. In other news, the government has collected as much as 9,538 crore rupees of revenue from the direct tax Vivad se Vishwas scheme. Minister of State for Finance Anurag Singh Thakur said in Parliament that as many as 35,074 declarations have been filed under the scheme as on September 8th. In international news, China's ByteDance is seeking a valuation of $60 billion for TikTok as Oracle and Walmart take stakes in the app's business to address US security concerns, according to a person familiar with the matter. Oracle and Walmart have rights to buy 12.5% and 7.5% respectively of a newly established TikTok Global, under an agreement that won the approval of President Donald Trump, according to a Bloomberg report. The two companies would pay a combined $12 billion for the stakes if they agreed to the asking price. However, the original national security concerns that were raised remain, according to some experts, because the algorithm of TikTok will remain with ByteDance. In international markets, only two of the three early risers were trading this morning in the Asia-Pacific region, and they were both heading in different directions, but with small moves. US indices futures were largely unchanged last I checked. And with that, it's over to Hormuz Fatakia for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Hormuz. How are we looking at the start of the week?
Good morning to you, Alex, and to our listeners as well. It was a week of little or no movement for the benchmark indices. What stood out was pharma and IT, and what didn't were banks and FMCG. Let's get to specific stocks to begin the final trading week of the September F&O series. RITES has approved a share buyback worth 257 crore rupees. The company will buy back nearly 97 lakh shares or 3.9% of the total equity. The buyback price of 265 rupees a share is a 4% premium to Friday's closing price. The record date for the same is September the 30th. BSE has said that the arbitration tribunal has declared the termination of the agreements entered into with Dow Jones as invalid and has ordered that the agreements shall continue to remain in force and effect. On to the IPO space now, and after a stellar listing by Happiest Minds Technologies on Thursday, Root Mobile will be listing on the bourses in today's session. The company's IPO was subscribed over 74 times on the final day of the bidding process. The flurry of IPOs continue with 2 new issues opening for subscription today. Warburg Pincus-backed Computer Age Management Services or CAMS has raised 666 crore rupees from its anchor investors. India's largest mutual fund registrar and transfer agent will look to raise over 2200 crore rupees by selling shares at 1229 to 1230 rupees apiece. And Chemcon Specialty Chemicals is the second IPO opening for subscription today. The company has raised nearly 95 crore rupees by issuing shares to anchor investors at 340 rupees a share. Let's shift focus to some stocks that will be in focus on the back of large deals. Kati is the first one, where EQ India Fund has purchased 0.7% stake at 49.5 rupees a share. Valiant Organics is the second one, where the 3.3% stake sold by the promoter was acquired by the likes of Nippon India Mutual Fund, which bought 2.5% stake, and Goldman Sachs, which purchased close to 1% stake. And SL Propack completes the list, where the 23% stake sold by the promoter Epsilon Bidco was lapped up by fund houses like Nomura, DSP Mutual Fund, Axis Mutual Fund, Franklin Templeton, amongst others. The stock ended lower for the 4th straight day on Friday, down over 7.5%. The Vanguard Group was in action on Friday, acquiring stake in companies like Granules India, Dixon Technologies, Atul, Deepak Nitrite, amongst a host of others. The complete list is available in our All You Need to Know copy on BloombergQuint.com. The group has also sold stake in companies like Dish TV and VA Tech Wabag. Some buzzing stocks that I would want to highlight, and the list is incomplete without Dr. Reddy's. The stock ended 10% higher on Friday after brokerages too gave a thumbs up to the stock, citing earnings visibility post FY22. Natco Pharma is the second one, which ended 15% higher to end at its highest level in over 2.5 years. And Sudarshan Chemicals is the third one. The stock ended higher for the 7th straight day on Friday, ending at the highest level since May 2018. The stock is up over 20% in the last 7 trading sessions. Early ticks on the SGX Nifty indicate that the index was down 40 points, around the mark of 11,480. You can get more details on all of these stocks and a lot more in our All You Need to Know copy on BloombergQuint.com. And with that, I wish you a safe day ahead, and it's back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Hormuz. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day and an even better week ahead.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.